Welcome to The Substitutes. My name is Omar. We've got Majid with me today. Got a great episode for you today that's close to both of our hearts. We're going to be looking at two great United sides, the 98-99 United team and the 2007-2008 United team. One of them won the treble, one of them won the double. So we're going to look into these teams and we're going to look at who we feel is the better team. Majid, let's start with you. You're covering the 99 team. How's the squad?
What's up, man? How you doing? So at goalie, we have the star jump specialist, Peter Schmeichel. We have a very young, very fast Gary Neville, Yapstam, Ronnie Johnson, and Mr. PK, Dennis Irwin. In the midfield, we have peak David Beckham. We have Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, of course, and Ryan Giggs. Up front, we have the legends, Cole and York. I want to add here now, we have a lot of super subs here. Ole is the most famous one, but there was Teddy Sheringham, Nicky Butt, Phil Neville, Jesper Blomqvist, who did a lot, and Henningberg, who also did a lot as Janssen was injured throughout the season.
That's a pretty impressive squad, actually, and I was just taking me back just listening to those names. When we compare it to the 08 squad, Van der Sar was in goal, reliable. He calmed the goalkeeping position after Schmeichel left. Then at right back, Gary Neville only made one appearance, so Wes Brown was his replacement, and he was excellent. Hargreaves also played there a few times. In the centre back positions, we had Rio and Vidic. Now, both of them could be aggressive, both of them could be very calm. They complemented each other very well. And at left back, we had the adventurous Patrice Evra, who had displaced Ince. In the midfield, United really shined. They had a lot of players who could play in different positions. So we had Scholes, you had Carrick, you had Hargreaves, Darren Fletcher, Ryan Giggs could play there a few times. Park Ji-sung also featured. Anderson played there as well. And Nani, who could also be a forward as well. So they were new signings. And up front, we had our fabled front three. Rooney, Ronaldo and Tevez, 79 goals between them, but when we break down their stats, it's even more impressive. Ronaldo with 42 goals, 8 assists, Rooney with 18 goals and 14 assists, and Tevez with 19 goals and 7 assists. They were phenomenal. Park Ji-sung and Nani also played up top a few times, so this was a phenomenal squad with a lot of squad depth. I loved it. Now, here's the kicker. What are the trophies that these teams won? Let's look into the results.
The United 99 team is a historic treble team. They were first in everything they ever did. They conquered everything, domestic and Europe. In the EPL, in third place that year was Chelsea at 75 points. Second place was Arsenal, 78 points, and United won it with 79 points. In the FA Cup, in the quarters, again, Chelsea lost 2-0. In the semis, Arsenal lost 2-1 on aggregate, and in the final, United took down a Kevin Keegan-led Newcastle team 2-0. Now, it gets really fun with the Champions League, because historically, United was drawn in the group of death, a true Group D group of death. They were with Barca and Bayern and a Swiss club. In the two games against Barcelona, both of them were crazy, high-scoring, 3-3, 3-3. And against Bayern in the group stages, it was 2-2, 1-1. In the quarters, this United team took on Inter Milan, 2-0, 1-1, 3-1 on aggregate. In the semis, they took on Juventus, 1-1, 3-2, 4-3 on aggregate. And in the final, of course, down 1-0, 2-1 at the end in Barcelona.
Let me just ask you, I remember these squads, it might have been Club Brugge as well in the group of death, but what was the opposition like? Who made up the teams?
So now, contemporaneously, Arsenal was made up of David Seaman, Dixon, Vieira, Adams, Anelka, Bergkamp, Overmars, Keon, and Petit. Chelsea had Leboeuf, Desailly, Zola, Wise, Di Matteo, Nichols, Payet, Andre Flo, and Vialli. Newcastle, Shay Given, shout out Ireland, Stuart Pearce, Rob Lee, Alan Shearer, of course, and Dietmar Hamann, the German. Now, with the European clubs, Inter Milan, this is crazy list. Djorkaeff, Zamorano, Baggio, Ronaldo, peak Ronaldo, Simeone, Zanetti, Simic, Silvestre, Pirlo, Sousa, Winter, Juve, Mirkovic, Henry, Inzaghi, Del Piero, Deschamps, Zidane, and Edgar Davids. This is like the giant killer. Bayern Munich, the team they played 3 times that year. Ali Khan in the back, Babel, Mateus, Lizarazu, Elmer, Kufur, Eifenberg, Saleh Hamidzic, Jens, Zichter, Basler, Elber, and my personal favorite, Ali Dai. These were stacked teams. These all, with whoever they took on, they were stacked teams. They were crazy.
That's an insane list of players and teams that they've beaten along the way. They didn't beat Barcelona, but they knocked them out of the group of death. And they finally beat Bayern in the final. That's amazing. Remember, Gary Neville also said that the Juventus team was the one to beat in that time, in that mid-90s sessions. Those are amazing.
What happened in 08? Fill us in with 08.
Okay, so 08. So in 08, United won the double. So in the Premier League, they finished with 87 points. In the FA Cup, they got knocked out in the 6th round, and in the Champions League, they won it. When you get into the Premier League, the closest rivals were Chelsea with 85 points and Arsenal with 83 points. But when you get into it, Arsenal actually led the table all the way up until around February, when Eduardo had his leg injury. That's when they kind of fell apart, and United knocked them out when they beat them 2-1 at Old Trafford. I think that's when they fell out of the title race for good. That 08 team, though, for them, Lehmann, Fabregas, Eduardo, Gallas, Robin van Persie, Flamini, Adebayor, Lord Bentner, Walcott, that side was so good. If they had stayed together, and I know this is a big statement, let us know in the comments below if this is something you'd like us to look at, great Arsenal teams or potential Arsenal teams in the Wenger years. I think that this side could have won something if they had stayed together and added to it.
And stayed healthy.
Chelsea would,
I'll just add there.
And stayed healthy. That's a big one, actually. They had a lot of injuries. Now, Chelsea were also a team that they faced, and they also faced them in the Champions League final. Now, this Chelsea team, they came back out of kind of nowhere in the title race, and they mounted a late charge, 1-2-1 at Stamford Bridge, and took it down to the final day. They drew with Bolton, dropped 2 points, and United won at Wigan. That team had Petr Cech, Ivanovic, Cole, Makelele, Essien, Terry, Joe Cole, Lampard, Drogba, Ballack, Anelka. This was an amazing squad. This squad competed with peak Barcelona and would always take them all the way. Not always win, but they were always very close, sometimes robbed as well.
Yeah, thank you, FIFA. Seriously, thank you, FIFA.
Yeah, and the Portsmouth team that knocked out United in the 6th round, David James, Glenn Johnson, Sol Campbell, Lassana Diarra, Defoe, Canu. Even that Liverpool team who challenged the year after, Stevie G, Hipia, Torres, Carragher, and finally that Barca team, which we knocked out in the Champions League. I need to go through the results. Valdez, Puyol, Iniesta, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Messi, Deco, Gudjonsen, Henry, Touré. I mean, it was incredible. The Champions League run, by the way, we had Roma in the quarterfinals. We beat them 2-0 away with Rooney and Ronaldo scoring. That had Panucci, Mexes, Totti. Then in the semi-finals, we beat Barca 1-0. Drew 0-0 at home. Ronaldo missed a penalty. Scholes scored the winner. And then 1-1 against Chelsea. Beat them 6-5 on penalties. It was a crazy season. I mean, I could talk a lot more about it, but it is a crazy, crazy season. Not as impressive as 99, but still amazing squads there.
Again, thank you, Portsmouth, for that one. It could have been the ultimate head-to-head right there.
I know. Look, 99 had more impressive squads that United beat and teams, but 08 still had incredible teams that they played as well. Chelsea, Barca, even Arsenal.
Absolutely.
Now, let's look at the tactics of 99. Now, how did they play? How did they line up?
So, the defense played a high press early in games. For that first 15 minutes where they were choppiest, where United was choppiest, they were actually playing a high press. They also thumped the ball. Just get it to Beckham, get it to Giggs, and just like long balls all over. There was no tiki-taka. Schmeichel was there to kick it long. Stam, Janssen, Irwin, Neville, they were all there sort of to get it to Beckham, Giggs as fast as you can, and then they'll create something. Which brings me to sort of Beckham and Giggs and Blomqvist had a very option role. They could cross the ball, they can pass it to Cole up front, or they can wait for sort of Gary Neville to come around them and get the crossover this way. So there was a number of different ways they would go about it. They were primarily a counter-attacking team, or they were very quick on the counter. They wouldn't necessarily soak up pressure, but the moment they caught you off guard, they were up and at it. They were at the races.
Formation?
Sorry, they played a traditional 4-4-2, but sometimes going up front on attack, they would sometimes transition to a 4-3-2-1 with Scholes up front.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead. I just want to continue. Sorry, these tactics clearly worked because while we consider United 99 a team of destiny and this magical thing, they only lost 5 times that season. Once in the Charity Shield, once in the League Cup. So, like, realistically, they lost 3 times. Once at home to Middlesbrough.
Does the Charity Shield count?
That's what I'm saying. Not that
to Jose Mourinho, it does. 3 titles. 3.
At home to Middlesbrough, away to Sheffield Wednesday, and away to Arsenal, unfortunately. They also went on a run of 33 unbeaten matches from Boxing Day, December 26th, at home against Nottingham Forest, all the way to the end of the season. So like this, and I want to add one more thing, but tell me first about United 08 and what they did. I want to get back to the attacking, the way United 99 scored. It's kind of interesting, but continue, please. Tell me about 08.
Okay, sure. Now this 08 squad, this was a very versatile squad. It was very well drilled. Wing play is a feature of United, especially Ferguson's United, also all the way back to the Busby Babes. But the way that they did it, they played a traditional 4-4-2, then they would play 4-3-3, 4-5-1. So this was a very interchangeable squad. They were also very well drilled. Players could play in each other's positions. Like, for example, there was a goal against Liverpool where Wes Brown won the ball and then he continued into a forward position and the ball was worked wide, crossed in, and Brown scored. But you could see, I think it was Carrick who moved back into the centre-back position. They just covered. Hargreaves also, by the way, I mentioned this earlier, he played in the right-back position sometimes. He played there against Barcelona. We had Gary Neville was injured, Vidic was ruled out, Rooney was ruled out in the home leg. So they played in each other's positions. They were so well drilled. Giggs would play infield as well, sometimes in the middle or at wide. Their interchangeability of the front three was a feature as well. They were so hard to pick up. They were so fluid as well. In a couple of goals that they scored, like I'll give you the one against Middlesbrough. Anderson crossed it to Tevez, who flicked it to Rooney, and he started moving. Rooney backheeled it to Tevez, and he scored. Similar type of goal against Birmingham, where the ball was played to Tevez, who flicked it to Ronaldo. Ronaldo backheeled it into Tevez, who ran through on goal and scored. But there were so many different types of goals. Free kicks from Ronaldo was a feature. Rooney and Tevez pressed, Ronaldo and Giggs moved up. They were an amazing squad who were so hard to pick up and so well drilled. So it was pretty impressive. Sorry, do you want it to go back to 99 about something?
Well, this is the perfect segue. Having said what you've said, United 99 were not as flexible in terms of changing their position, the man changing their position. Scholes would generally play his position, not much else. Having said that, the primary way United 99 scored were 2 ways. Either Beckham would be crossing it from this 45-degree angle. He wouldn't even, it's not traditional crossing from the side. It's actually sort of like the free kicks coming in and around. Him and Blomqvist, actually. Blomqvist and Giggs would be crossing it. That's their primary sort of thing, is just get it to those guys and just have them cross it from anywhere. It'll create something. The other way was on counterplays. Get it to Scholes and Keane, and they will sort of unlock the pass before the pass to Cole or York, who will do some individual speed brilliance, and they'll just sort of get through and score. Now, 2 observations of this United 99 team when they do score. It's almost amazing how many goals came nowhere near the penalty box, actually closer to the outside free kick box. This team had laser-like accuracy with their shots. It's amazing how many times the goalie will be standing there. There'll be about 3 defenders, and they'll still get it in at an angle. Particularly Ashley Cole. When you go back to the tape and see how many times he scored the heat map, it's amazing to see that. And of course, Paul Scholes. Andy Cole, excuse me. Andy Cole. And Paul Scholes, of course. Blomqvist had a couple, Giggs had a couple, and of course Beckham. So like they, not near the penalty, but just 4, 5, 6 yards away from the penalty box, amazing shots. The other thing is, they scored a lot on second chances and extended periods of attack. They would sort of, the first shot, Giggs will take it, Scholes will take it from miles away. It's crazy fast. The goalie tries and catches it, can't catch it, it ricochets, Andy Cole's there to put it in, or whoever. The amount of second chances, the amount of times they scored off of second chances, or just off of sort of intense pressure, shot upon shot upon shot, it's amazing. It's really cool to see. And United 99, at times they had this almost siege mentality on attack. They would all play their positions though. This is the difference between 08. They weren't flexible that way. Go ahead, Omar.
So there was one goal that I think encapsulated it, the equalizer against Bayern Munich. I mean, it was pressure, Schmeichel was up there, a corner was played, Giggs with a shot, sharing them. I mean, that was, in the last 10 minutes, we had kind of laid siege to their goal. Like, we were always just in their half. So that was a good example to give there.
Very good example. Now, that personifies it. There was one other goal against Chelsea, I think. Solskjaer completely flops a chance, somehow gets it back, does a couple moves, and just takes it in. It's second chances and extended periods of attack.
I mean, now I think this is where we're going to get to the kicker now. You mentioned, we've talked about the different types of goals, but who do we think would win in a head-to-head between the two? And Majid, I want you to tell me now. We're going to look at it in 2 ways. First one, we're going to look at it in a cup final. And the second one, we're going to look at it home and away leg, Champions League style. So, Majid, go ahead. Who do you think is going to win?
Cup final, I think, if it's a one-off match, one-off game, I genuinely think United 99 have the edge. And it's a really tough, you can give me 08, I would accept, but like United 99, I think if they were to, they would pip them in one game. Over 2 legs, I think this United 08, you're with all the points about Barca, the flexibility, the amount of goals, just an aerial attack, land attack, crossing moves, individual moves, everything. I would, in 2 legs, I would give it to 08, but in one match, I would give it to the 99 squad.
You know, it's very interesting that you say that, because when I thought about it, I actually feel exactly the same way as you. I think I feel this United 99 side would win it over 1 leg. Because you mentioned something, they only lost 5 times that season, and they went on a 33-game unbeaten run. But this 08 side, they only started playing, by the way, in October. That's when they started winning 4-0. They won, I think they scored 4 goals in 4 games. They started with Wigan, I believe it was, but they were always susceptible to losing a game here or there. They lost against Bolton, for example. They lost against Portsmouth. So in 1 leg, I would give it to 99, but in 2 legs, United showed that they could do it in the Champions League. I know the 99 team did it as well, but I just felt 08, like they would have probably lost the first game, and then maybe then, okay, we could play a different way, and we could play multiple different ways in the second leg. So I think they would have caught the 99 team out. That's my opinion. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, who do you think would have been better over a cup final game and over 2 legs? Anyway, guys, thank you very much. We're going to round it off today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.